this aching pain when you're away, like a burning ship that sets the sails to you.
I'm Larry Ridley, and this is Madden 17 on EA Sports. As we head towards kickoff, two quarterbacks will be on the field today trying to push their team to victory. It's Ryan's Falcons going up against Roethlisberger's Steelers. So with that, let's get up to Heinz Field in Pittsburgh. On the call, here are Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Larry, EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to the steel capital of the world, Pittsburgh, PA, and Heinz Field. Coming up, we've got a good matchup on tap between the Atlanta Falcons and the Pittsburgh Steelers. Set to go now on a beautiful sunny afternoon. And with towels waving, we're underway from Heinz Field. Short kick here, fielded about the 17. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the... On first down, Ryan. They'll set up the screen for Freeman. The first down screen pass, good for 5. Second down now after the pass completion. On second down, Ryan. He's going to find his running back. It's complete. And I think the ball's out, but this will get out of bounds, so possession will stay the same.
Now, I have to admit, partner, that I've often thought that I don't like this rule, where the offensive player fumbles the ball, it goes out of bounds, and they get to keep it.
That's just because you're a defensive guy. That's why you don't like it.
Yeah, you're right. It is a slanted view, isn't it?
But this is where, for the offensive team, the sideline is their friend. Usually it's not their friend.
Yeah, exactly right. I actually played for a guy in college. You know what he used to name the sideline? Sammy. Sammy sideline, and use him well.
He's got time. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete. And a look at the Steelers' defensive unit.
Lawrence Timmons comes from a long line of productive Florida State players. And when I say productive, I usually mean spectacular.
Incomplete pass on second down. Let's see what the offense draws up here on third. The former Indiana Hoosier here, Tevin Coleman. And he'll go out of bounds after taking it a little further down inside the 40. 9 yards on the play and a first down.
On third down, that's a good job of situational football and understanding where the first down marker was and getting there.
They go play action here on first down. And this is caught. And they do stop him, but he takes it all the way to the 2.
Now, that play will end up on the highlights, and you'll see it all over the place. But what you won't see, the offensive line that bought the extra time, that allowed for the big completion downfield, those guys made that play possible.
And, Charles, I know Ryan Shazier, who made that tackle, a youngster you like a lot.
I love him, and I liked him a bunch coming out of Ohio State because the more this game leans towards speed and less on bulk, that's where Ryan Shazier excels because of his ability to run down plays. If anything goes away from him, he'll chase it. A lot of the time, he can run with tight ends, running backs downfield, and pass coverage. That only helps his outside linebackers like James Harrison and Bud Dupree get to the quarterback.
And that is caught. Touchdown, Falcons. Taylor Gabriel, a 5-yard touchdown. And the Falcons have taken the early lead. So on 3rd and medium, they dial up the pass, and it works to hit the end zone.
And it's really not a surprise to me. That's a throwing down in the NFL because of how tough it is to run the football. But what offenses like to do is still show run formations to make them respect it and throw out of those. In this case, they took a nice shot at the end zone and made it pay off.
This is fielded at the chalk of the 10. And he'll take this across the 25, a couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. They'll come up now in the Wildcat package. Now a play fake here on 1st down. And it's complete to Ladarius Green. That one goes for 13 yards, and it moves the sticks.
Almost not fair. The big guy running the corner route, being able to lean and push and get to where he wants.
So how do you stop him?
A lot of times you want to have a linebacker on him, a bigger body guy who can handle him physically. But a lot of times that doesn't work as well because his quickness often wins the route.
They run with Williams out of the Wildcat. And he's got room. And cuts out right sideline. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25.
Well, partner, I have to say they caught him in the right defense there. Nickel set, 5th defensive back on the field, and they love to run against that because now you typically get a bigger blocker on a smaller defender.
Yeah, because those DBs like you, they want the interception. They're not as worried about the running play, right?
Not at all. And I still remember being in school, and one of my offensive line teammates used to say, boy, I'd love to come downfield and hit you little people.
Good run there. Now Roethlisberger to throw. And incomplete. He dropped it in the end zone. Trying to get it there to Martavis Bryant. And now it's 2nd down. This offense has some speed, and certainly Martavis Bryant, he has some speed.
He has that, and he has size. That's what makes him so difficult to cover. Because just when you think you have to play him one way, the other attribute kicks in. Martavis Bryant could be an all-star real soon.
And that one got tipped, kind of threw everything off. It brings up 3rd. And here we go. We get to see the Falcons again on offense, a crew that last year scored 540 points, tied for 8th most all time. But my question is this, such a crushing Super Bowl loss in the offseason, does that set you back big time, or does that fuel and feed you momentum-wise going forward?
It should fuel and feed you momentum-wise going forward, partner. That's exactly how it's supposed to react, and that's what you'll see in the Falcons locker room in the entire offseason. They'll talk about finishing, unfinished business, things of that nature. But we have seen where teams have not recovered from it. Remember the Rams? They got to a Super Bowl, got beat by the Patriots, didn't get back there again. The Broncos in 2013, #1 offense, #1 scoring offense. They didn't get back in 2014, but they did in 2015. So you can recover from it.
And the play clock running down, so Mike Tomlin burns a timeout. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. And no field goal try here from the red zone. Offense out there. They'll go for it on 4th. And they're definitely showing blitz here. They'll go for it with Bell. And he won't have the touchdown, but he will have the 1st down as he's tackled at the 2.
This is a question of who wants it more. Easy to get stuck behind all the big bodies, but you've got to find a space and fight forward for the 1st down.
And the D-line pinching together must be expecting the run. They'll try and run it in with Bell. And just a short gain that time as they're able to get him down. In 12 regular season games this last year for Bell, averaging over 150 yards from scrimmage. First 2 games in the playoffs were great, but, you know, getting injured in the final game probably leaves a bad taste in his mouth.
Leaves a bad taste, gives him fuel for the next season, though, because, remember, for the last few years, he hasn't been able to play a full season for various reasons. Now, going into next year, imagine those numbers over a 16-game season and heading into the playoffs. Le'Veon Bell can set new records.
So with 2nd and goal, still had a couple of downs to work with. They tried to sneak, and they got in.
I like the idea that they did it early in the down and distance count. 2nd down as opposed to waiting later on. I think it fooled them a little bit, but how about the push they got up front to get the quarterback through?
Big push and a touchdown to boot. So we're right back where we started, all even as the kick's away. This is taken at the 3. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. Atlanta now coming out on the field. And they will simply, Charles, be looking to duplicate what they did last drive when they were able to push it in for 6.
And they hope it'll be that easy, right? To be able to take exactly what happened before, replicate it. They have to make a few additional changes along the way.
And this is caught at the 20. Touchdown, Falcons. Julio Jones, 76 yards. And the Falcons have taken the lead. And correct me if I'm wrong, that was just a simple fly route, wasn't it?
No, there's nothing to correct at all. You've got it down pat. And I just remember as a player, when I'd be in practice sessions and I'd hear 9 from the receivers, that meant fly route, go. Look out. That was the 9, and he just kept going all the way into the end zone for the touchdown.
This is taken just shy of the 10 here. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line. Pittsburgh's offense now heading back out onto the field. Last time they were out, they scored. Still trailing here, though, so some work to do.
But it's okay in terms of mindset. Because they scored the last time, they're not quite as worried about being down on the scoreboard because now their confidence is a little bit higher. They feel like they've got something going, and they feel like they can attack again and put more points on the board.
Are you scoreboard watching if you're the offense, or are you just focused on this drive?
We wouldn't be telling the truth if we said that they didn't scoreboard watch. Everyone does it to some extent, but you've got to set it aside right now and just focus on this series. That'll take care of the scoreboard if they punch it into the end zone.
And the Falcons get there. The Falcons get the sack. Down he goes. A well-designed corner blitz that gets him for a loss of 8 yards. Now Ben on 3rd and long. He's going to wind up and air it out. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. It's Desmond Trufant. And they get the football. They'll set up shop at their own 49-yard line. Atlanta now coming out on the field. And last time the formula was pretty simple. One play drive, long pass. That maybe they just want to do that again, right?
And that's exactly how you want to draw things up. Whether it's on your grease board, right, you want on offense. What they have to be careful of is not having a letdown. It was real easy last time. They can't expect that going forward.
And we'll see if it's that easy here.
And when you watch Devontae Freeman run the football, you can almost close your eyes and hear him running the football, can't you? Because people just scatter. I mean, you know, when he goes through a pile, it moves in a positive direction for him. I just love how hard he plays the game.
1,000-yard season. He had 11 touchdowns last year. In March, 25 years old. So he's kind of hitting that sweet spot for a running back, isn't he?
He really is, and I still remember the evaluation of him coming out of college. He does everything well, but you weren't sure he had a dominant trait. Well, wrong about that. He's dominant in just about everything he does, and I think that he's going to continue to elevate his game and seek a 3rd Pro Bowl in 2017.
Freeman again, a first down carry. And tough sledding. He'll get maybe a yard. Stop short of the 35. Mike Mitchell coming up from the secondary to make the stop. And after the play on the ground, that brings up 2nd down here. Now Ryan on 2nd down. It's caught. Left side, Tammy. That one good for the completion percentage, but no gain. It'll be 3rd down. So 3rd down now. They need the 27-yard line for a first.
Pass complete, but no gain.
No yards.
Yeah.
So you file that as unsuccessful.
Yeah, you do, don't you? Except on the stats, throwing the ball.
Get a completion.
You get a catch.
Yeah.
But still,
no
yardage. Okay. Well, we're not playing 3 yards in a cloud of dust football anymore. I kind of get why those old school coaches sometimes didn't want to throw the football. Because if it's popped up in the air, it almost turns into slow motion. And both sides trying to get to the football, and you're holding your breath wondering whether it's going to go good or bad for your team.
Deep drop. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off.
That was a really nice interception. I think it illustrates the differences between playing man and playing zone. When you're in man, all you're focused on is the receiver in front of you. But when you're in zone, you're allowed to read the quarterback's eyes and go to the ball. That's exactly what happened on that play.
It's a 5-receiver set. 3 to the left, 2 to the right. After the interception, here's Roethlisberger. Gets this one to Le'Veon Bell. And he's finally taken down, but not before getting across midfield and across the 45-yard line. You know, when I see passes like that, I'm reminded of something you and I talked about yesterday. Big Ben was a wide receiver the first 3 years of high school, sitting behind the coach's son. And then he finally got that opportunity. I think he's made the most of it.
It's always the coach's son, isn't it? But you know where it helps him? When he looks downfield, he knows what the receivers are going to do. He actually has wide receivers' eyes when he's throwing the ball.
It's a pickup of 19, and it's good enough for a Pittsburgh first down. And no press coverage here. They are backing off in the secondary. Now a first down carry by Bell. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be second down.
And that's exactly what you want on a first down run. Pick up 5 yards, bring up 2nd and 5. The defensive line, though, they've got to figure out a way to out-leverage the guys up front because the offensive line is winning at the point of attack.
And they've got it inside the 10 at the 8. A solid pickup of 13 sets them up first and goal. And now the passing game here in the second quarter starting to heat up a little bit.
Don't you feel the rhythm starting to happen, right? You see it. Now the confidence is starting to rise. I think now as a play caller, because that has happened, you lean on it a little bit more. You don't go totally away from running the football, but you do say, guess what? We can throw it. We can throw it well with a whole lot of confidence.
On second down, Roethlisberger. And he's going to take it in for a Steeler touchdown. Martavis Bryant, a 5-yard touchdown. And the Steelers are an extra point away from tying this thing up. And we've got a good one brewing. We're all knotted up at 14. So a tie ball game here as the kick's away. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully. So out come the Falcons now. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here. They're going to hurry back to the line now. And with that, it's 2-minute warning time here, the NFL on EA Sports. They'll throw on first down with Ryan. They'll set up the screen for Freeman. Only 3 there on the screen at second down.
In order for a screen pass to break big, a lot of things have to come together and be well executed. But all it takes is one small thing to go wrong and keep it from being a big game.
And complete on the right side, it's Tammy. It's a gain of 7, and that's going to make it third down and less than a yard.
I know exactly what's going to be said about that play from the defensive perspective.
What's that?
That's why I tell all you guys we need more than one tackler to the ball. He broke the first tackle. Luckily enough, there were more people there to get him down.
On third and short, the fullback DeMarco. And he's able to get the first before he's taken down at the 36.
3rd and inches, just turn around, hand it to the big guy and let him plow forward and pick up a first down. A lot of people think that the offensive line, they may almost take the play off because they got a big guy back there pushing forward. I think it actually works in reverse. I think they block harder because they love seeing that guy get the ball because he doesn't touch it very often.
He was looking for Mohamed Sanu there, and that'll bring up second down.
We know it's not an easy job to go out and catch passes when people are trying to tackle you and knock the ball away. But the bottom line is, that's a pass he's got to have.
Looking for Jones, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Arthur Moats. And they will take over at the 26-yard line. Now the Steelers offense gets ready to get back onto the field. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that. They had a great air attack going. Do they stick with that?
I I would think that they would, because if they were confident enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're presenting and continue to do so.
Yeah, because the secondary, they really look clueless.
And that was amazing because that drive went and went, no adjustments, and no big plays by the defense to knock the ball away.
And into the end zone. Touchdown, Pittsburgh. Le'Veon Bell, 73 yards. And the Steelers get the quick strike touchdown. Boswell for the extra point. It's up and good, and that'll make the score 21-14. Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Atlanta now coming out on the field. And what do you think goes on here in this situation? If you got the football, you're trailing, you're back in your own territory with just a little time. Do you try something?
You're thinking about jump-starting your team, right? You just mentioned it. They're down. They're trying to get back into the game. But you got to figure, if something goes wrong, you may have put yourself in a spot where you may not be able to come back in the second half. Managing risk is a big decision here.
Trying to lay one up deep. And that one falls incomplete. Looked like he might have had position there, but he couldn't hold on at second down.
And when all else fails as a defender, when you're not there in the coverage, your best friend is exactly what we saw there. A big play shot taken by the offense. Unfortunately, it ended in a big drop.
To throw is Ryan. He's going to let it go again. And that one will fall incomplete. Clock here now just under 30 seconds to go in this first half. So still a full 10 yards to go here for the offense on third down. On third down, Ryan. And for the third time here in this half, it's intercepted. And some space here. Picked off. And he brings this one back. It's a pick six for a Steeler touchdown. So a dangerous pass over the middle into zone coverage, and it bit him hard.
And what's really difficult when you throw it in that direction and versus that zone, that means the linebackers have gotten to their spot, gotten their heads back around, and they can see the quarterback and everything in front of them. And they took big advantage of it, went the other direction. Excellent blocking, and picked up a touchdown.
That'll be taken in the end zone. And not wanting to risk anything here late in the half, he'll just take a knee, and they'll bring the football out to the 25. Now the Falcons offense gets ready to head back onto the field. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
Ryan finding time. He's going to float this one deep right side. And his pass is